So we're back for a early show tonight. Early show. Good to see you all, Danny. Thank you for gifting a membership. I'm not sure who got it, but uh, Emily Nub, did you get it, my friend? I hope you did. Okay. So a close friend of mine, well, not close, but I've known this person for I don't know. I think like maybe 4 or 5, maybe 4 or 5 years. I've known these people, and when they reached out to me and were like, "Hey, can you cover this story? It's really important. It's from my local area. Can you make sure people hear about it and discuss the issues with it?" So I was like, "Yeah, I could do that. Of course, anything for you guys. I would do that for you." Supposed to do it last night, but we got caught up in doing the story about the woman. Why is that funny, Ping? Why is that funny that a woman was found in a secret compartment in a hotel, and then they rented out the hotel for like 2 more days after taking 2 garbage bags full of blood, urine, and poop. And we're just like, yeah, that seems normal, and just kept going. That's why it's funny. But it's not funny because a girl died. But the situation is somewhat comical. I wanted to show you this. So I'm probably going to pronounce the town names wrong. So I'm just going to play the video for you, and then I'm going to show you a couple more things to do with it. Then we'll say hello to everyone. Then I'll get the camera on, and we'll do all that. All right. Let's all watch this video. By the way, don't pause yourself, Ping, and mute the microphone. How's everyone going? Coachella, right? Everyone's trying to get into Coachella right now. I was reading the Twitter thread of people stuck in the traffic, trying to get into the polo grounds or whatever. They're like 16 hours in the line to get into Coachella for like camping and stuff. I mean, they are some warrior people willing to sit in line with no bathrooms for 16 hours. Good for them. Hope they have a great weekend at Coachella in California. All right, here we go. Let's watch the video here.
Tonight, outrage after multiple Idaho police officers opened fire on a teenage boy with autism. Officials in Pocatello say a neighbor called 911 Saturday evening, reporting what they described as a man who seemed drunk, threatening 2 people with a knife.
He's pretty drunk. He's just running out with a knife and then falling over, and I think he was stabbing his girlfriend actually just now.
The family says the boy, Victor Perez, is 17 and has autism and physical disabilities. They hope police would de-escalate the situation. Instead, video shows officers approaching, telling the teen to drop the weapon. He moves toward them, and they open fire from the other side of the fence seconds after arriving.
What the heck? What was that? 9 bullets. They took 9 bullets out of that kid. He died twice. They bring him back, and now I got that he had brain damage, and now we have to handle that.
Pocatello's police chief defending his officers' actions.
We know this incident has deeply affected the community. The full picture requires careful review of all facts and evidence.
This shooting's now under investigation. Family members say they're not sure if this teen is going to survive. Trevor Ault, ABC News, New York.
Watch.
So if you missed it there, a young guy who has some challenges in life, they just opened fire on him. Now look, he did have a knife, but I think the issues are a little more complex, right? It's a story of how do we deal with people in our society that may see the world very differently from us, right? Because the way I see the world, the way you guys might see the world is very different to someone who may have these type of barriers in life. And it's the same for the cops. Like when they approach this situation, why is the automatic instinct to raise weapons at someone and shoot? There has to be different alternatives used in these type of situations. There has to be more like background and working to identify people in the community who may sometimes have you know issues come up, or things that would to a normal person may look very scary or something, but it's not. It's just you know it's the way they do things a little bit differently to the way we do stuff, and the fact that they shot him is a ridiculous. 17-year-old boy shot 9 times by 4 officers. What is this, a siege? What are you doing? Is this guy like did he have a woman hostage? It looked like someone was trying to drag him back. They didn't look like they were in that much danger. They looked like they were just trying to pull him back from the fence line. There you go. Eh, I mean to shoot so apparently he already suffered the traumatic loss of one of his legs due to the incident, and that he is currently in critical condition. Let me just double check that information. So his name is Victor Perez. So 1 hour ago there was an update here. They say family of autistic teen shot by police say officers should have tried to de-escalate. I didn't see the full video. I only saw the bit that they showed on the news. But still, like I've never seen police just surround someone like that. Here, I'll show you that footage. What is this? Is this a bank robber? Is this a serial killer? Is this like someone who has a lady in their basement? No. It's someone who is autistic, is having a bad day, and is lashing out, or whatever they're doing is just the way they deal with it. Need much better training and understanding for people who are, they just see the world differently to the way we do. And it's not a bad thing, it's not a good thing, it's just their way of doing things is different. And we've got to adjust to that as well. I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all approach to just finding someone like that and then just being like, "Oh, yeah, let's just shoot him." Like, you can't do that. Where's the mental health teams? Where's the psychologists? And, like, we've already talked about this several times with other cases. Where is the support teams? Why is the first instinct to be like, "Oh, let's just bloody get a gun. Let's just shoot the guy." Like, you're starting to sound like Victoria Police, where you just shoot first and ask questions later. Like, that's basically what it sounds like. Marlene Clausen says, "Why no background? Who was the fool who called it in?" Yeah, who was the dumbass who called it in? He's pretty drunk right now. He's just running out with a knife and then falling over. Yeah, he's autistic, you fuck. I mean, like, I get see something, say something, but if you're also ignorant and uninformed, then maybe you should shut up. Let people deal with what they got to deal with. Like, oh, he looks pretty drunk, looks pretty smashed. Just, he wasn't either of those things, I don't think. He was just, having a meltdown. So Victor also has cerebral palsy as well. So he's not only autistic, also has cerebral palsy, and he's intellectually disabled, nonverbal, and autistic. So after being shot by these officers, he's in critical condition. He had 9 bullets removed from his body, and he had to have his leg amputated after being shot and like with the guns. It's disturbing, it really is. I thought we all knew a little bit more about this type of stuff. I thought we all had a better understanding. If this was a 2-year-old autistic child, there would be like search teams, they'd have the helicopter out, and the cops would be walking back with the child in his arms, and he'd be like, "I am the hero of the situation, and look at the little autistic boy that I saved." But when they get a little bit older, you just get a gun and shoot them. I don't understand where that matrix, where's that cutoff of, like, helping and then, like, trying to shoot them? Like, where does that stop? It's not cool. How he was in his private property. I don't understand how you can shoot someone inside of their boundary of their fence either. He's inside of his fence. There looks like there's a family member, someone close to him behind him, trying to drag him back. And I'm not sure who the person here on with the mobile phone is, but yeah, he's inside his own boundary of his fence. He did like sort of lunge forward, but like you're dealing with such a complex individual that's got different bodily movements. They've got different ways that they see things. Their mind works, the way audio influence works for them. Like shouting at them is not going to work. Shouting like drop the weapon is probably not going to do anything, or they're not going to fully comprehend the seriousness of the situation or what the next actions might be if they don't comply. Because again, they don't quite see the world the same way that me and you would, and be able to progress our, like, oh, if I don't drop this gun, if I don't drop this knife, they have a gun. They're going to shoot me. And then I'm going to be very hurt or killed. I don't think he quite has that sort of forward thinking. They just sort of, very in the moment type of thing. It's really sad. I just thought we'd already kind of gone through this a million times, but apparently no, we have to go through it again. So the local community has got a petition here. They say stop unjust police violence in the city where this happened. They say protect our youth. And I mean, I'm guessing in that particular area, there's probably a lot of parents who have either a child with autism, a child that may have a different condition, something that makes them more vulnerable to the harder bits of society than what we would like, what able-bodied people would have. And I think that's something we all have to do a better job of understanding, and just trying to think not always in a A plus B equals C type of manner. There's ways about doing things that can resolve a situation and not end up with someone in a hospital. Well, maybe, but not in this, not being shot. I think that's pretty horrific. He was, yeah, I don't know why the neighbor called the police. Maybe they're just a sticky beak. Glitter says kids already just can't see around corners. If they can't see it, it's not there, or what happened to them. Exactly. So I would very much doubt he has that sort of forward progression of consequences that we have. So, like I said, we can foretell what our actions may lead to on a risk analysis basis that our minds have done through experience and things we've seen in life. But I think that's one of the things that some autistic people struggle with, because they just kind of see and do, because that's just the way they are. They just sort of have what they want to get done, and that's what they want to do. Glitter says, yeah, I agree with you. Marlene said, I think we're all different in our own ways and no one needs to be shot. I think it, like, do they not have even a taser in this particular county in Idaho? Why is it always a firearm? Like, is it just like, oh, these tasers, they're pretty tricky devices. Let's just get more weapons. Let's just get more guns. It is needless. And now he's lost a leg due to those injuries. So not only was he a person with barriers and challenges originally, you have just given him more. So he's now a like amputee. He's probably going to have some sort of fear of authorities from now on. So you've completely fucked that up. So if he ever was going to do anything in the future to like help authorities or be compliant or whatever, you've probably blown that out the window too. So it's just, I hate seeing it, and I wish it's not something that we wouldn't have to deal with so much. Now, there was a thing that came out from, yeah, here, let me take you over here. Their chief of police put out this poor press conference. Here, I'll play it for you. This might have a little bit of it.
Video, the family outraged after their autistic son is shot by police. Tonight, their son is now fighting for his life, and what authorities are now saying about this, we warn you, it is disturbing. Here's Trevor Ault.
Tonight, outrage after multiple Idaho police officers opened fire on a teenage boy with autism. Officials in Pocatello say a neighbor called 911 Saturday evening, reporting what they described as a man who seemed drunk, threatening two people with a knife.
He's pretty drunk. He's just running out with a knife and then falling over, and I think he was stabbing his throat on accident just now.
The family says the boy, Victor Perez, is 17 and has autism and physical disabilities. They hope police would de-escalate the situation. Instead, video shows officers approaching, telling the teen to drop the weapon. He moves toward them, and they open fire from the other side of the fence seconds after arriving.
What the heck? What was that? 9 bullets. They took 9 bullets out of that kid. He died twice. They bring him back, and now I got that. He had brain damage, and now we have to handle that.
Pocatello's police chief defending his officers' actions.
We know this incident has deeply affected the community. The full picture requires careful review of all facts and evidence.
David, this shooting's now.
This might be one of the most terrible press conferences I've ever seen. Now, I try and be as 50-50 as I can on issues. So when police do something really good, I try to praise them. What a great thing. They work for their community. They have a hard job. I get that. But when they do stuff like this, and then you get this type of press conference, this guy in that little clip, and I watched the longer one earlier, it looks like he doesn't want to be there. Don't you get that feeling from it? He's almost like, so I'm just going to look down at my paper the entire time. I'm not going to show my community any empathy. I'm just going to continue to look down and not put my eyes on the camera. And I'm going to pretend like this is something that we need to reflect on for many months before we get an answer. That's exactly what it felt like watching him. The lack of empathy or insight into this situation is appalling. And whoever this is, I don't know his name, but the city, should look into whether he is someone they should be having as their basically law enforcement leader. Maybe you guys need someone else. Yeah, nonchalant, like, oh yeah, we shoot autistic kids every day. What are you talking about? Why are you protesting? We do this every Thursday. We shoot about 4 of them. Why are you upset about this one? Well, we did 3 last week. Like, I didn't see any protests then. It's almost like what his attitude was. Oh my god. So if you could help me out, they only need about 503 signatures to get to their 5,000. I would really appreciate it if you could. I've signed it. I signed it under my real name. I don't want to show you what that is, but I have signed it under my my God-given name. So let me grab this link, and if you could, I would appreciate it. If you're already a change.org person, then you'll already have an account. If you could sign that for me, I would appreciate it. I just think that there's got to be some sort of better review into how we handle people who have autism. Like I said, you can see the disparity when we deal with a 2-year-old who's run out of the house, and it's a big moment, and they have them on their backs, and we rescued him from the water, and they're all like, oh, the city, and there's like a parade, and there's like ticker tape, and as soon as you're dealing with someone who's now older, has gone through puberty, and is a completely different type of person with these barriers, now it's like, let's get the firearms. No more like hug them and put them on the on their shoulders, and let's get a parade and let's hand out medals to people. It's now let's shoot them, because that's the only way to deal with problems, right? Is to shoot people. I don't really understand that type of policing, since policing is supposed to be about serving the community. I don't know how you serve the community by shooting someone that doesn't really need to be shot. So I appreciate it. Thank you. Actually, don't thank me. Thank my friends. I don't know if they're okay with me giving out their names. But you would know them. They have been around. They've been in the chat and things like that over the years. I've talked about them. They are regulars on this channel. They have been regulars on Web Sleuth. I just not sure if they want to be named, but they are friends of the channel. So I appreciate it. They're friends of a bunch of other channels too. So you may know. Who other channel did she say? Where's my sweet friend? What did she say? I think she said someone else was also doing it. Who was it? It was Mel. Mel also did a video on it. So this person is a friend of my channel, Mel's channel, Web Sleuth, so you can tell they're good people. Very good people. So don't thank me, thank them. They're the ones who brought it to my attention. And yeah, I don't know if we can play this little video. Can we somehow make this larger? I'd like to hear from this person.
The man was
Why does that not have
holding a gun.
video? That's so freaking weird. Show all controls. Hold on. Show all controls. Full screen download. Yeah. Okay, good work. Whoever uploaded that video, unless ping is going mental, which could be true. Hold on. Let me double check that I'm not going crazy. Okay. Oh no. Alright. I don't think I can play it though. Let's go. Maybe we can. So this is someone who signed it. Unfortunately, I can't make her video larger for some reason. Oh, you're gonna act. Hold on, guys. Oh, there we go.
Needs to stop. The man was not holding a gun. There was a fence in between the officers and the man, and he was not coherent enough to use the knife effectively. Try a lasso or something, but there was no excuse for gun violence. Also, my father was shot and killed by a police officer who got out of hand because my father was sleeping at a gas station late at night because he was too tired to drive the rest of the way home. This needs to stop.
I agree. I would hate to see another child, no matter what age, or any person for that matter, someone who is dealing with any type of barriers in life that would have to, not just not see the world that like in the way that we sort of do, and don't understand the seriousness, and then just be shot because they don't understand. I think that's very sad. Yeah. Hey SP Mama, show me the research. I still can't see any past videos. Interesting. Maybe you need to update your app. If you're using a phone, maybe update your YouTube app, because we have over 500. I think it's almost 600 live streams in our library, so we have a lot. Wendy R says what the neighbor did was like swatting the teen's house. It almost sounds like maybe the neighbor has been annoyed in the past by the behavior of this young man, and not did it out of like maliciousness, but sort of, that kid's playing up again, and I'm just going to call the cops this time. Like, that's almost what it sounded like. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think the number's gone up quite a bit since we've talked about it. So that is good. What is it now? It was 4497. Well, that was that probably yesterday. It's gone up 4,728. So they need Ping's really bad at math when he's on a live stream. So, because apparently I can't do math when I'm on the spot. Minus 4,728. So still, it need 272 people to sign that agreement, sign that petition, and get it to that 5,000 people goal. I think that would be a great idea. Yeah, I think it takes a little bit to update. From my dealing with this particular website in the past, people can sign and then it doesn't show that they have for like an hour, and then all of a sudden it'll update and there'll be a bunch of new names. Why it does that, I don't know. SP Mama said, I did Coachella decades ago when it was actually cool. Oh yeah, when Bjork, however you say her name, when she was pregnant. Yeah, I remember that. She was really showing at the time. She was wearing like that white outfit. Can't say I'm a fan of her music, but she did look great on the stage. Yeah, so I got an email about this before. I can't tell you too much about it because it's internal talking between friends. But I can tell you that they told me they were going to be on at 11. Yeah, they just want to trial that and just have a look and see if that works for them or not. I just think they're just there's a lot of voices right now going on. So if you've been watching like the Lori Vallow trial, there's just like 200 channels all live at the same time, and I think there's just a smattering of sort of like white noise at certain time frames throughout the day. So I don't know, maybe they're trying to find something where it's a little quieter or something. But they just told me they were going to be on at 11. Yeah, so this kid is from Idaho. Pocatello. Is that how you pronounce it? I hope so. Otherwise, Ping's telling you very bad information. Yeah, I'm going to take you to KTVB for an update. This was only a couple of hours ago.
A split-second decision by police.
In situations like this, officers must make decisions in seconds. They assess threats, not just to themselves, but to those nearby.
A decision leaving a nonverbal autistic teen fighting for his life.
I hope it reaches out to many communities, even autistic communities too.
And a family demanding accountability.
Yo quiero la justicia, porque de aquí no me voy a ir hasta que no vea la justicia de esos oficiales.
We're continuing to follow the recovery of 17-year-old Victor Perez, an autistic teen shot by police in Pocatello. As video of the incident circulates on social media, his family and community are speaking out, hoping to raise more awareness about autism while Victor remains in critical condition, fighting for his life.
It started with this 911 call Saturday evening.
911, what's the emergency? There's a couple up back behind their shop brandishing a knife.
The caller reported that 17-year-old Victor Perez was trying to stab his family.
So this guy, he's pretty strong.
But Victor's family says that's far from what was really happening.
¿Era el niño una amenaza a ustedes en particular?
No, la amenaza eran ellos.
Victor's grandfather, Luis Alicea, says that he was outside with Victor's mom and sister preparing for a barbecue when he saw Victor walking over.
Ese palo que está ahí, ¿no ven? Yo lo quería para picarlo para cocinar. Y entonces yo veo que el niño, yo estoy aquí afuera buscando leña de esta leña que está aquí. Ahí. Y cuando yo vengo ya para acá, ya viene el niño. Mi hermanita vino con la escoba para ver si me quitaban el cuchillo.
He says Victor was holding a knife, but he didn't seem threatening.
Pero cuando yo vengo para acá, pues yo veo al niño que viene allá para acá con un cuchillo. Pero yo no sé si él viene a jugar conmigo, a traerme el cuchillo para ayudarme.
In a press conference, Pocatello police say they arrived on scene responding to what they believed was a dangerous situation.
The risk was immediate and the situation rapidly evolving.
In a social media video recorded by a witness, you can see Victor swinging the knife. PPD says Victor was armed and refused to follow orders.
Officers positioned just outside the yard gave repeated commands for the male to drop the knife. He did not comply. Instead, he stood up and advanced toward the officers while still armed.
Again, they're trying to put like normal, not that's not the right word. People without these type of conditions, they're trying to put them into a box where it's like, whoa, well, if this was, anyone else, they would have dropped the knife and we wouldn't have to shoot them. But where's the background on the situation? Like, it's not that urgent. You got a freaking fence between you. You could wait a second, talk to the family that were around just for 1 minute, find out some background and be like, oh, he's autistic, nonverbal. Oh, he has cerebral palsy too. Okay, this might be a different type of situation. Not like, where's the rifle? Where's the guns? Oh my God, everyone line up. Let's all get ready to fire. Like, it doesn't have to be like that. It can be very different, but you have to want to be like that. It's, it'd be different if it was like there's a guy and that gets called into police and he's like, oh my God, I think I saw a guy with a knife. There's a woman inside his house that looks very distressed. Oh my God, I think he may have broke in there and he's holding a family hostage in their home. And the cops burst in and they shoot the dude and they save the family. You'd be like, oh, wow, okay, well, it's a different type of information and a different type of crime. That's not what was going on here. So the people trying to defend it, I think, is short-sighted. But yeah, they're like, look at this deadly knife. It's so deadly. We now have it in our possession. Super deadly. So we had to use 4 firearms because, nothing beats a knife like 4 separate guns. You bring a knife to a gunfight, especially 4, probably going to lose. That's why we always bring multiple. That's almost like what they're saying.
Victor's family says those commands may not have meant anything to him. He is autistic, nonverbal, and does not understand English.
No, él no entiende inglés. El niño es un nene incapacitado. Él no puede caminar. Él no habla mucho. Él camina, pero no camina normal. Y yo le decía a ellos, mira, no disparen, que es un niño especial. No me hicieron caso nada.
Despite Luis's plea with officers, police shot Victor.
Como en menos de 3 segundos empezaron a disparar. No dialogaron nada. Bueno, en los videos canta todo.
PPD says Victor was shot 9 times before officers rendered aid.
Ya se fue a levantar, ya el niño estaba casi de pie, ahí mismo dispararon. Se ve la medida porque en el hombro le dieron un tiro. Bajito. Gracias a Dios que no le cogieron la cabeza.
The incident has left his family with questions about why deadly force was used so quickly, especially against a teen with disabilities.
¿Por qué piensas que dispararon ellos?
Yo creo porque no tienen escuela. Les falta más training. Y el que le dio training a ellos está más malo que ellos.
But the family is not alone. Community members also speaking out, standing in solidarity with Victor.
I laid down just a couple of flowers for Victor Perez. Because being autistic myself, I thought I'd pay tribute as well.
And for many, the shooting is a call to better understand people on the autism spectrum.
I hope that we can all understand autistic people more and see how unique they could be, really, and just pay more attention to what's going on and not discriminate based on race, language, or skin, because that's just a little bit of a problem nowadays.
Some community members are expressing frustration, saying they haven't heard from other city leaders about the situation. One resident sent an email to Pocatello Mayor Brian Bladd saying, quote, "What's even more disheartening is your silence. When children can be shot by police despite obvious warning signs, language barriers, and physical separation, and city leadership chooses not to speak, it sends a chilling message that we should not expect accountability, transparency, or change." While the community seeks answers, Victor continues to fight for his life in the hospital, still in a coma and in critical condition.
No está muy bien, el niño está en coma todavía. El niño le ha hecho una cuanta operación. Le cortaron una pierna que no la tiene, que eso jamás la va a regresar para atrás. No, yo tengo fe en Dios y él va a vivir.
And just into our newsroom, Pocatello Mayor Brian Blatt released a statement on Facebook saying, in part, the Pocatello community has experienced a tragic event, and we are all reeling from what happened, especially the Perez family. Please know that this incident has my full attention. City Council and I do not take what happened lightly. He says that all 4 officers have been placed on administrative leave as per standard practice. He says that they plan to release body camera footage in the upcoming weeks.
Well, I hope we see that body camera footage. And I would go back to the point back here where they talk about accountability. And that's where we can go the other way, where it's okay to make mistakes sometimes, right? That's where you learn from your actions or learn from things that go wrong. But it takes accountability, it takes acceptance, and it takes being public, especially when you're a public figure like a city mayor or police department, sheriff's department, whatever it is. It takes them coming forward, explaining what went wrong, and saying how they will be better and it won't happen again. And I think that's what the community would like to see. I think they want to see a plan of action where if they ever came across who knows, anyone, a child who's nonverbal, an autistic person, or even just a normal person that's having a bad day, some mental health issues, something, um, that they won't get shot because of what they're going through. It's different when someone's got a criminal intent and they're willing to kill someone. Yes, you should probably shoot them, right? I think we all agree. It's very different when you're dealing with someone who doesn't understand the things you're telling them, and then you're just like, well, that's how we make our decisions. Well, we gave him a chance. We're like, hey, drop the weapon. He didn't want to do it, so we're just like, hey, bang bang. He didn't drop the weapon because he doesn't know what the hell you're saying. It's very, very different from someone non-complying. So James Avery said we can't expect police to be psychic. No, so there's got to be better installments. Like there's got to be better background checking. Maybe not that there's got to be a database, but if you get certain call outs to a house and then you can leave more notes and hey, we know that kid that lives there. He wouldn't understand if you gave him verbal commands. Like this information could have avoided a shooting. Training, less lethal options, maybe beanbag gun, anything. Taser, although tasers are less than lethal, but not exactly non-lethal. We've seen that recently. Sean said cops don't have a very easy job, especially what they experience day to day. They must be highly strung with confronting possible danger. I would say anytime they react to any situation where there is a weapon involved, they're probably traumatized and paranoid because of what they've seen already. So I get it. Hey James Avery, you just got here? Okay. SP Mama said 1 in 36 children in the US have been identified with autism spectrum. It's estimated that over 7 million people in the US, according to the CDC. The family member was saying he was telling the police not to shoot. Yeah, he told them not to shoot, that the kid didn't understand what they were telling. Like, they were giving him verbal commands, and they were saying, like, he doesn't speak English. He's also nonverbal. He doesn't get what you're telling him. And they still decided to open fire. So I think there's a lot to unpack here, but some strategies for dealing with the people in our community that are a little bit different would be nice to see from this particular PD. And yeah, exactly, like how would they, if they had to go through this entire scene again, what would they do differently in the future to make sure that they didn't have to fire, what was it, 9 times into a juvenile? Like, what were the steps that would be different? I think something like that, a very brutally honest press conference, would probably help smooth over some of the tensions in the community and probably help repair some of that community fracture between the PD and the community. Because the thing you want in your community is you want a strong bond between the PD and its citizens, because that's the way policing works the best, is when you have good community talking between both sides. When you get that fractured between it, you end up with a very negative experience for both sides because there's no collaboration. So it'd be nice to see that happen. A police officer is killed in the US every 22 hours. How many of those people do you think are from non-verbal autistic people, do you reckon, James Avery? Do you have that statistic for me? I'd like to know. Let me know if you do know that one, because I don't. I don't know what it is. But yeah, look, very, very sad. Very sad. I don't know. We've had a couple down here too. I don't think the situation is solely in this particular town. We've had it in Melbourne, Australia. We've had people with autism or other spectrum, things. They have been shot. There's been people that have been arrested because police don't understand what they're doing. And then when they finally get them into custody and get them checked out by a psychiatric nurse or whatever, they're like, oh, this person is a client. Like, we've had them here before. And they finally unravel it all. And they're like, oh, yeah, this person's harmless. Like, that has happened a few times. It's not sarcasm. I was asking for real. I was saying if you knew the statistic, let me know. Marylanders. Hey, Marylanders, how are you? So yeah, I did this story as a favor for someone I know, and I wanted to do it because it means a lot to them. And yeah, they live in this particular area. They're a resident in this area, so that's why I wanted to do it for them. I just, I get both sides of it as well. We've seen it's just hard. In the last like 5 years, we've seen various different situations. You could even say like Gabby Petito. Like, it's a very different situation based on a different thing like DV, but like they had to go through retraining. They got sued over it. There was a bunch of things that came out of that too. Maybe something like that. Not that they should get sued, but maybe there would be a revision with this particular PD. James Avery says, if it dead, doesn't matter who killed you. In this situation, yes, but no, not normally. Maria says, please thank them for bringing this forward. I will let them know. And I know that we have a lot of mums and grandmas and grandpas and dads that listen to this particular show that have children who are on the spectrum. I get emails all the time whenever we do a subject on autism or children that run into, they run away, they get out of their home or whatever, and then they get into water, especially last summer when we had that big spate of them. It felt like every day there was a child that had run out of their home that was autistic and then had got into water and died. So we had this huge run on it last year. There were so many people that wrote in and they were like, this is exactly like my kids. I have 2 kids that are both autistic and this is my greatest fear. And so I know we have a lot of people in the audience who have those children. And cops and dads of cops. Probably. I would say yes. I'd say that's what I mean by the community engagement goes both ways between the PD and the community. And that's why, because some of the cops have these situations in their own family. So it's not like they don't understand. It's just like, it's like their job, and whoever is instilling the practices into them are not doing the right thing. It's not the person as such, it's their training and things like that. Khaleesa said, yes, somehow water attracts. Yeah, I don't know why that. I tried to get a couple of professors from Melbourne University to come on and talk to us, but they told me that coming on YouTube was basically beneath them and that they have better things to do with their time. So I was like, all right, well, thanks. You're the largest study center in Australia for autism. I wanted to spread some of the work you're doing and the research you're doing, and it's not worth your time. Okay, well, yeah, thanks for that. That's literally what they said. They said it wasn't worth their time. Uh, Kathy said, we've got a big hailstorm today. You did? Danny says, water should be held accountable for this. I've been saying that. We should arrest and then shoot the water, Danny. We should shoot them. We should shoot all water. It is obviously the enemy. It says that the water is, we're going to have to hold it accountable. And then we're going to go after the big players like the oceans. You know, the oceans, they're the ones at the top. We're going to have to somehow get them. Rachel said Idaho has some problems with training and pay for officers as well. I'm definitely willing as a taxpayer to pay for more for what's needed. That's a good point. Actually, I bring you an interesting point about policing. In Victoria, I think there's something like 100,000 vacancies for Victoria Police. 100,000, I think. 100,000 or a million? I can't remember, but it's a monstrous number. It's something like, yeah, I think it's like 100,000 vacancies. They lowered the standards because you had to pass some sort of like spelling, math, train that type of thing to get in. They lowered the standards. They upped their intake by over 30% in the last 12 months, and there's still 100,000 people short. 100,000 people in Victoria, where I live. They need 100,000 police that they can't fill. They can't fill the vacancies. So, and they've lowered the threshold for getting in. There you go. James says, I wouldn't do it now for all the money in the world. Well, I think it's a different world. Kathy says, should we really lower the standards? I think they did that to attract more people because the high standards that they had, they couldn't get the people they wanted. Sean said 100,000. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Hold on. I'll show you. I can't find it, but it was in an article in the Herald the other day. But yeah, there was something like they're looking for 100,000 new police in Victoria. Something crazy like that. Maybe they got the number wrong, but like that. Something like a huge amount of I was like, "Really? That many?" But it was okay, this article says more than 1,000 vacancies, so they've got over 1,000 cops that they're still looking for. I could have sworn it was more than that because they got like 500 last year. They got 30% more than they thought. So it was like 570. The year before, they only got like 300. But I could have sworn it was some massive number. It was like ridiculous. And I was like, wow, I never thought we even had that many police. Danny Mitchell said LAPD can't get officers and they can't afford to live there. Neither in San Francisco. San Francisco, they can't afford to have the police because they only earn like 80,000 a year. They can't even buy or rent a property in San Francisco to serve the community because the pay isn't enough to rent a property. Hi. Hi, buddy. What's wrong? I've got a cat behind me. See? There he is. Hey, Muff. Hey, buddy, I'm not a kangaroo. You can't nest in me. What are you doing? It's all right. The guy's going. He's just testing the alarms. Calm down. Hey, calm down. He's just testing the fire. It's okay. Hey, what are you looking at? Hi. What are you doing? We're doing a show. Can't you see? Look, your little faces on the camera. Hmm? All right. He's a big sook. He's a big sook. He's scared because there was a guy out there doing like fire testing, like the alarms and things like that. And he's petrified of fire alarms. Ever hears a fire alarm, he just goes ballistic and starts running around. Like, oh my god, there's a real fire. I'm a cat. How am I gonna get out? Yeah, he does. Muff, you want to talk on the microphone? Hey, you're in a really weird place. You're like right behind my back. What's going on? Hey, come here. Come here. There you go. Yeah. Hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hi. Hello. You gonna say hello to everyone? Don't claw Daddy's jumper. It's Daddy's favorite jumper. Don't claw Dad's jumper. Hey, don't claw Daddy's jumper. Daddy will be very mad. Alright. Hey. Alright, good boy, good boy. Don't claw Dad's jumper. Yeah, so he's up here. He just hopped up before. He just ran under the chair and then came around this side and jumped up. He's like, there's a guy out there. He's very scary. He keeps making loud noises. Yeah, he's a good boy. He's a good boy, aren't you, buddy? You big purry cat. Oh, don't claw. This is Dad's favorite jumper. Don't do that. Glitter says my cat hates high pitch. Yeah, he even on a TV show. If you have, what are you doing? Don't lick the couch. What are you doing, you weirdo? Don't lick me either. Even on a TV show, if they have like a fire alarm go off, he just bolts. He's just like runs away from the noise. He just does not like that loud, high pitched noise. Yeah, he does what I have this great jumper that I love, and he ruined it. And then I had 2 pairs of jeans they're like stretchy jeans, which I love wearing. I have like 5 pairs of them. And he ruined 2 pairs in a week. So when we got him back when we went to Tasmania, hey, all right. When we went to Tasmania, we brought him home and he wouldn't get off my lap. Do you remember that? He just was like really super clingy when we got home. He ruined 2 pairs of jeans by pussyfooting them like constantly, and they've got pinprick marks all over the crutch of it. Just all over my leg and the crutch and everywhere. It's just got all these like pinprick from his claws everywhere. So I had to buy new jeans. Um, he's actually a pretty good cat. He doesn't really wreck anything normally. It's more from like affection. Like he'll just like he'll pussyfoot you to death, but he doesn't destroy anything. He's not like a cat that destroys things. He's just a big sook, aren't you? He doesn't like his sister though. His sister, the big fluffy one, he doesn't like her. He gets very jealous when I pat the big fluffy cat, Rory. He gets really super jealous and he's like goes and attacks her. He's like, "That's my dad. I don't want him patting you." He's like, I was here first." So yeah, he's the first cat we got. So we had him first, and then we got the big fluffy one because we thought he wanted a friend. So we bought the big fluff. Well, we didn't buy her. We got her from someone who was giving up the cat because they were moving for work. So we took the cat. And we thought he wanted a friend because he was only a kitten at the time. We're like, oh, it'd be good if he grew up with another cat and socialized. And he hates her. They're not friends. He doesn't like her. She doesn't like him. Oh, no, that's not true. Rory loves everyone. I think if he was nicer to Rory, Rory would be his best friend, but he's an only child. Like he's just like, I don't have siblings. I'm a single cat. I don't have any relatives. I'm a one cat per house type of cat. Yeah, so yeah, he's very jealous, very territorial, very jealous. But he's a sweet cat. Glitter says number one lie cat parents say when they make the decision they're going to get a cat, we're only going to get one. Don't blame me. Our old cat died, so we had a different cat. Its name was Tilly, and she died. Unfortunately, she died a really horrific death. Unfortunately, um, she went blind, and then she broke her hip. So she had a really awful last like half a year on Earth. She had a really tough time. When we lost her, it was so traumatic that I was like, no cats, no more. I don't want any more animals. No more cats. 3 months later, Mrs. Ping's like, what about this orange cat? And I'm like, nope, no, not ready for another cat. Don't want any more animals. No, thank you. And she just went out one day and then came home with a cat. And I was like, what do you mean? I thought we talked about this and you weren't going to get a cat. And she's like, I wanted the cat. And I was like, all right. So we ended up with Muffin. And yeah, about 8 months after we had Muffin, he was starting to become too like co-attached to me, like to the point where he would follow me around the house constantly, wouldn't give me a break. He would be like just over clingy. So we were like, maybe he needs another cat that he can play with and socialize with and just be more of a cat rather than so attached to a human. Um, and then yeah, we got Rory, and no, they're not friends like at all. They love each other in a very housemate type of way. Like when one is missing, they get sad, but they don't like each other, if that makes sense. Like they're used to each other being around, but they are not friends, not even for a minute. They fight, they chase each other. Rory sleeps all the way over there because she's not allowed over here because Muffin will kick her out. It's a complex dynamic. Marlene says, same here. I cannot take the heartbreak. I have my two fixed ferals. They have the best life. Yeah, I didn't want another cat after the last one. Glitter said, I have a section on my Discord, or you can post pictures of your pets if you guys want to post there. I want to get an orange kitty. He's orange. He's very orange. Leaves orange fur everywhere. SP Mama said, we got both our cats from the Humane Society and they are brothers. They fight like my three boys all the time. She's from the Humane Society originally, apparently. So the sad thing about Rory, she was rehomed 3 times before we got her. So she had an original owner that gave her up when she was only a kitten. Then someone got her, had her for about a year and a half, and then they had to move for work. And she had a brother, which was an orange cat. The orange cat got rehomed, and Rory was supposed to go with the orange cat, but apparently the person who took them both only liked the orange cat, didn't want Rory. So they gave Rory back to the owner. And then we got Rory from the owner. Because she had to move into America for work. So we took Rory, but it was her third rehome in her life. So we were like, we'll take her, we'll give her a forever home, somewhere where she will never be rehomed again. So that's Rory's story. She got rehomed like 3 times, and she is a naughty cat. She's very naughty. So I understand why someone maybe couldn't put up with her. She is food motivated. She will find any speck of food ever. Like I left a donut on the counter over there and she found it, tore it to pieces. You can put things in bags. she will find it, tear the bag open, and eat it like a dog would do. We call her a dog because she is like one. Yeah, I don't know where she is right now. She got scared of the alarm, so we had the alarm go off, and then she ran away. So I don't know. She's probably in the bedroom. So yeah, there you go. Some cat news for you. Glitter says, yeah, post your photos on Glitter's Discord. Yeah, that's basically what she said. She's like, I wanted the cat. And I was like, oh, all right. And then we got Rory, and she said basically the same thing. I wanted the cat. And I was like, all right. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know where she is right now. No, I can't see her. I don't know what happened to her. Oh, I think she's sleeping somewhere. Glitter said my cats are the only ones on there right now. Okay. Well, hopefully people will post photos. I think I posted heaps of photos on this channel of these two mongrels. We have cat dogs too. Rory's the craziest cat I've ever met. I've never seen a cat that acts like a dog. Like, she acts like a dog. It's so funny. She will play fetch. She eats like a dog. Like, you put her food in the bowl and she's just like woofs it down in like 2 minutes. Muffin just kind of grazes on his food. She just goes woof and it's gone. Like, you know, when you do the dog food and the dog just goes no, 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 and it's just gone in like 3 bites. She does the same thing. It's insane. I've never seen a cat eat so fast. The kitty. No, I don't know. So Muffin, they both like cake. So we discovered recently that they both like cake for some reason. Um, he likes meat and he likes cake for some reason. Rory likes fish, chicken, and anything that's made out of bread. So we don't know why, but they both like cake, and Rory likes bread. So anything bready, like pizza, sandwich, you know, white bread, whatever. It could be anything. Bread roll, she will go bananas over it. She will tear it to pieces and put crumbs all over the house. Glitter says, I see that all the time about mine. Somebody knocks on the door and they go run into the door like dogs. Rory does that. Muffin goes and hides. He gets very scared. They see a stranger. Yeah. All right. What time is it? Oh, shoot. Hold on, guys. What? Oh. I don't know what that means. Someone messaging me. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know. Someone telling me the wrong thing. Emily Nard says my cat has gotten fat. So we had to put these two on a diet because Muffin got up to like 5.5 kilos and Rory got up to about 6.5 kilos. But we put them on a new diet and a new eating plan. And now they're both down to, when we took them to the vet in December, they're both 4.5 kilos, which the vet said is perfect for both of their frames and the type of cat they are and the age. So 4.5, brilliant. They're no longer overweight and they're doing well. Marlene says they like cake because they're party animals. That's right. Yeah, I don't know why. They both love cake. It's weird. Your cat would gag over canned tuna smell. They like canned tuna, both of them. Kai likes meat. Yeah, Rory is a big like meat eater and she likes bread. Muffin likes human food. So anytime Dad has something, that's what he wants. Dad's got a curry, he wants the curry. If Dad's got a pizza, he wants a pizza. If Dad's got a freaking fried egg, he wants a fried egg. Like he just wants whatever's in my bowl. SP Mama says, yeah, we put tuna water on anything and they will eat anything. We've tried that. It doesn't always work for these two. Works sometimes. It depends what it is and what you're trying to get them to eat. If it's like medication, it sometimes works, but not always. Glitter says, I like to make my own cat. You like to make your own cat? How does that work? What do you do? Is that like build a bear, but build a cat? I want to know how that works. And one of my cats will not eat canned food. That's really, yeah. Muffin won't eat certain food, but he likes like morsels, like the little bits. He won't eat pate either. SP Mom says, yeah. I think that meat, baby food in a jar, they'll eat anything with it. Yeah, probably. All right. Let me see. Do I have any other updates for you? I don't know if we do. So they're coming on at 11. What time is it now in America? What time is it now? 10:30? 10:30? 10:40? 10:40 maybe? Let's see if I got any other updates for you. I know we had the Amber Alerts. I know we had that. So there were a couple of Amber Alerts. One's yesterday, but they got resolved. It was a party of 3. It looks like the other 2 got taken down as well. There was actually 2 different lots of Amber Alerts yesterday, a family of 3 and a family of 2. Looks like both of them have been resolved. That's good news. But no. Yeah, Amber Alert cancelled for the. It was 4 children, not 3. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, I gotta stop this. This was. Stop.
Decision.
This was the one yesterday. This was North Carolina. Amber Alert cancelled for 4 children reported missing. It was in Havelock. The children were abducted early Tuesday morning by their mother, Brittany, from their foster care home. But apparently that has been now sorted out, and they put a warrant out for Brittany for felony child abduction. But they're saying that it has been resolved, and now the children are safe and back with their foster carer. Oh yeah, let's talk about this for a minute. Did you guys see the footage from the helicopter crash in New York? I don't know if I've seen something so horrific, and we've watched a lot of plane crashes on this channel, right? I can't believe that footage, and you can see that propeller here. This footage. Look at the propeller. You can see it separated from the aircraft. I don't know what causes that. When I first saw it, I was like, I wonder if they hit a bird, because bird strike can actually dislodge a helicopter propeller. But I can't figure out what else that might be. By the way, this is from Ryan Card from Reuters. Ryan Card. I can't figure out what would cause this to separate from an aircraft. And then, of course, with no main propeller, it just fell from the sky, killing that family and the pilot. I've never seen anything like that in my life. I've never seen a helicopter lose a propeller in the air. I've seen one when it's hit the ground and then the propeller has broken off, but not midair. It's the weirdest thing. Here's the family, by the way. So the dad was the president of the Spanish branch of Siemens, the technology company. And it was his wife and 3 children plus a pilot on board. There's a photo of them in front of that helicopter. I don't know what would cause this. Here's a guy after that propeller came off. You can see up in the air. If you slow this down, I wonder if we can open a new tab. Let me slow this down a bit. So here, see in the sky behind the aircraft, there's the propeller and there's other bits of the aircraft. You can see it behind the helicopter. I don't know what would cause those little fragments and the propeller to break away from it, but you can see that the actual body of the helicopter in the lower part separated before these bits finally made it down. But you can see it on that video. It's crazy. I've never ever seen something like that. This is just after it's separated, you can tell. So these were probably a bit further up here at one point and together, and that body of that aircraft has separated. That's the propeller right there, right in that top bit. It's still circulating, look. It's still spinning. If you watch that, you can see it's still spinning around from the force of flying. It's still spinning. Wow. And then that helicopter goes down and hits the water, killing all of them on board. Really, really sad. I don't know what would cause that. I really don't. Bad engineering, bad maintenance on the aircraft, a bird strike. I don't know. Lucky not to kill anyone on the ground. Very lucky it wasn't over the air. Oh yes, I remember that one. Oh, that's right. I remember you telling me about this, DJ. That you told me that it's called the Jesus nut because if it comes off, you go home to Jesus. Yeah, there's a large nut that holds on the propeller. Maybe it came off and then it just separated. You know, with the force of that blade, the centrifugal force, it'll keep going, and you'll just fall because all the power is getting pushed up through that blade. So the blade has the power, not the aircraft. So that'll fly away and you'll just fall. And that's basically what it looks like happened here. It's crazy. Well, I mean, it is. It's New York City. I mean, it's the Hudson River. I mean, it is basically the middle of New York. If it happened over the middle of, like, Times Square, it would have been catastrophic. 10:44. Okay, we'll wind up. The ladies are coming on in about 14 minutes, so I'll get out of here soon. I really hope you enjoyed this show. I know it's a little bit different. We don't normally cover like single topics. We've done it a little bit recently, but some of these topics need a bit more time and things to explain and stuff like that. We can't just rush through it. Let me check something. Hold on. Hey, Sean, I want to thank you for that donation. That's very kind. It really helps out. It's definitely going to help out with the trial. I appreciate it. Glitter says, grab your tinfoil hat. But have you guys noticed all the drones this summer? Do you guys want to know a little funny story before we go? Not funny, actually. It's very serious. So our election in Australia is coming up in about a month and a half. So that's like your presidential election in America that happened in November. Well, our one's coming up in May. There's two people, Albanese and Dutton. Dutton had a teenager charged over the teenager was going to fly a drone with a bomb over Dutton's home and blow up his home. And that kid has been charged. I want to see if I have it. Yeah, here. See, Dutton speaks out after alleged teen bomb plot. They said Dutton has spoken after revelations. He was the alleged target of a 16-year-old's terror bomb plot, while he's also taken a swipe at Malcolm Turnbull. So yeah, they said that this 16-year-old kid was going to fly a drone over his home and blow up his home. There he is, Peter Dutton, with his peanut. He looks like Mr. Peanut, right? There you go. If you just give him a monocle and a cane, he could be your American mascot for peanuts. He could be. Could he be Australia's next Prime Minister? I don't know. SPMO said they crashed are still within normal percentages of crashes, but a few more deaths than usual and covered more nationally and worldly. Yeah, this year's definitely had some high profile aeronautical like type accidents that have been covered widely in the media. So yeah, pretty crazy, right? Our election down here is full swing, and now we've had a very Trump style like attack on a someone running for Australian Prime Minister. Let's see if we can find anything else about the bomb plot. Can't say I've ever heard of someone trying to do that before. Yeah, we'll just go up here. Yeah. Brisbane boy charged over alleged terror plot targeting Peter Dutton. And it's that thing they said the Prime Minister, they say a Brisbane schoolboy allegedly planned an attack involving the coalition leader in the first half of 2024 before being arrested in August last year. AAP confirmed the 16-year-old on Thursday was committed to stand trial in the Brisbane Supreme Court after being charged with a Commonwealth offence of committing acts done in preparation for or planning a terrorist attack. And yeah, they were going to fly a drone bomb over Peter Dutton's home and kill him and his family. So yeah, freaky. I never heard anything like it before. Apparently he hated Peter Dutton so much he was going to blow up his home with a drone. Hey, Emily Narb, I appreciate that. It's very kind. Emily Narb says, whatever you need for the mushroom trial. Thank you, my friend. I really do appreciate that. It's very generous and very kind of you. Everyone's been amazing. If they can't send in a donation, they've been offering help in other ways. They've been offering ideas and content and, different ways of doing things, support during the time or, helping while I'm away. It's really kind of you all, and I really do appreciate it. It's very sweet. This will be probably the biggest project I've ever undertaken on this channel since I've been here. So you guys have watched other people go to like Lori Vallow's trial and other trials across America, like not people in the media, like YouTube people, and you see the amount of effort and time and how much you have to be there every day for 8 hours, 9 hours, and then you have to do live shows and things. It's a ton of work. So I appreciate that. It's been very kind. SP Mama says, I think we'll see more Trump style elections, not for or against, but it will be interesting. Possibly. 10:50. Look, I'm going to wrap up, guys. I love you all. I hope you enjoyed the early show. It was nice to get on here for a Friday afternoon for me and a Thursday night for you and get on here earlier. I know there's some people who really love the late show, but it's nice to see some people who can't make it to the late show. It's nice to see them in the chat on an early day where they can contribute and say hi, and it's really cool. I like that. Glitter says, my biggest wish is that you guys won't have to worry and stress about it and take all the fun out of it. I know. I think even if I had $1 million, it'd probably be still very stressful. It's there's a few things going on in the background too that are a little up and down, and that's adding stress. And I can tell you guys about it later on. Jojo said, I just got here. Bye, everyone. Bye, Jojo. Bye. Lynn D says, so irritating not getting notifications. Missed half the show. Hey, my friend. How are you, sweetheart? It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Maybe we might come on later. No promises. I have a pretty busy afternoon today. But if I can do a late show or a very early morning show, like 7 a.m. American time, I will try to come back. Okay. Mrs. Ping's mom's doing okay. They're away at the moment. Unfortunately, our uncle died 2 days ago. So we got a phone call on Tuesday that he had been admitted to hospital in Canberra. Unfortunately, fortunately, they flew up there, and about an hour after they got to the hospital, he died. So our uncle Mike has passed away. We have a funeral next week, and yeah, it's very sad. He was he was my grandfather's brother, and he was the final one in the siblings. So my grandfather's sister died only like a month after my grandfather did 2 years ago, or a year ago, whenever it was. And then now his brother has passed away this week. So they're up there right now making arrangements and getting the funeral sorted out and things like that. So yeah, it happened very quickly. He was an older guy. He was, I think, 89 or 90. He was 89 or 90. So they all died at about the same age. They all were around the same age, which is really interesting because they're all brothers and sisters. They all died around the same age group. So, but he had a good life. He was a good guy, and we'll miss him. We'll miss him, and we'll have our funeral next week for him. So, thanks, LMS. It'll be a good time in Morwell. It's going to be interesting. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I didn't mention anything the other day about it because it's all happened very quickly. Yeah, my great uncle. That's right. All right. Hey, I love you all. I'll see you later. Have fun with Trish. And I'll see you maybe later. Maybe later. Bye, guys. Have a great night. Have fun talking Lori Vallow with with Trish. Have fun talking Lori Vallow. Bye.